Hello everyone, this is Shadow 6 from the Royal Australian Marine Corps Realism Unit for Armour 3. Coming to you today from Stratus Airfield just to show off a little bit of a work in progress for the Royal Australian Marine Corps. I was looking around recently and found that the Hellenic Armed Forces mod team created an MRH-90 transport helicopter for their modifications for their purposes of their realism unit, and realised that there is no real generic MRH-90 model available to the general populace. So I decided to take up the Hellenic Armed Forces mod helicopter and decided to retexture it for our own purposes. So here's the work in progress at the moment. So as you can see here, I've created a texture that coincides with the Australian Defence Forces MRH-90 helicopter from EADS or Eurocopter. This particular helicopter is being used to supplant the S-70A9 Black Hawk helicopter we've had since the 80s. So just looking over the texture, as you can see here, the colour patterns are identical to the Australian Defence Force Disruptive pattern combat uniform pattern for their vehicles. What's more impressive at this point in time is I've also created the markings, which are practically identical to the ADF markings. So we've got Skippy here, and we've got the aircraft number right behind Skippy. And then we've got, just on the side there, we've got the service that it's attached to. The only marking that's missing is on the tail itself, which would be the aircraft serial number, which would start with an A or an N. In our case, being Marines, being a service of the Marines, it would be M for Mike, and then 40, and then the hyphen, and then the aircraft serial number, which would be 001 in this case. As you can see, the actual ramp comes down on the aircraft as well, which is very impressive. Now, one thing that I need to do with Skippy here is I need to change Skippy over to the opposite facing direction. Because obviously Skippy goes forward with the aircraft, not backwards. So that's the one change I need to make at this point in time. But overall, you can see that this particular model is armed with two General Electric M134 Dillon miniguns. So I'm pretty impressed with the work so far. There's more to come. There's also a model that is just a plain transport version that's also got doors on it, and I need to paint the doors, so that's the next step. So let's give it a bit of a fly around and do a bit of a test and see what we think. So first of all, when we look inside the cockpit, you'll see that it's fairly detailed. Looking backwards there, you can see inside the transport area. So not only the passenger area, but transport. Remember that this helicopter is not just a transport chopper. It's also a medium lift chopper. It's capable of lifting up to 12,000 kilograms of slung load. So overall, I'm pretty impressed with the actual detail of this aircraft. Now I'm going to spool up the engines now, just to give it a bit of a whirl. And as you can see, all of the panels light up. So one thing that really impressed me with this helicopter is that it's quite fast.